January 12th, 2015. I'm calling the first 2015 meeting of the Ayer Board of Health to order. First thing on our agenda is public input. We are, I'm sorry, yes,
Oh,
go ahead.
yes, well, you call public input.
Public input, absolutely.
And I would like to bring this to your attention, Madam Chair.
Public hearing member.
Yes, indeed. And I also received a call. Now, I got the information secondhand. The person that told me, though, is very creditable, and it has to do with the Shepley Hill.
Yes.
And I know you act as our representative, and you go to all the RAD meetings, and there's one coming up.
Yes.
As you know, people that live up in the West Main Street area are quite concerned about the level of contamination up there. There's a lot of young children that live there.
Yeah.
A person called over to get some information, and I was told just said, oh, look on the Ayer website, that the levels are really decreasing, and there's not a lot to worry about. Just don't dig a well. Well, you're not going to dig a well anyway, because
Right.
we, of course, have a moratorium up there. So it didn't make sense to this person, if you're in the red zone, they were told, but unless you're going to dig a well, the contamination is 80 feet down. However, if you're going to plant a garden, you need to put 6 or 8 inches of new soil in. That's what the person was told. Didn't make sense, so I'm just throwing it to you to see if you could get some further information.
Do you know who they called?
I believe they talked to, I believe somebody from the Army Corps of Engineers, but I can't be positive on that, but I believe it, excuse me, was. So if you would follow up on that, bring something up, because that is contradictory.
Yep. So they said the contamination is like 80 feet down?
Yeah, so really
But
nothing.
put down 6 to 8 inches.
6 to 8 inches of soil if you're going to have a garden.
Well, that's a new one on me.
Okay, then, so that's...
Okay.
That's all for that.
Yes, there is a meeting on Thursday night. So that's very timely. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Any other public input from our vast audience here?
Well, I happen to have the reporting thing that came in with a disc, and I'll have Cindy put it on the website.
Yeah, was that this one? Was it the proposed plan for plow shop and railroad roundhouse, or was it?
Roundhouse, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, you have the
Well, I
correspondence.
printed-
It's in the correspondence there.
Oh, okay, because I printed this from,
Oh, okay.
this was something I got from Robert, but this was actually a disc as well?
Okay, look in there and see if it's not in the correspondence file.
Well, as long as we're still
Oh,
on.
you know, it's right here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Here's what it is. Sovereign Consulting.
Oh, actually, let me see that. I might want to take that and review it before Thursday. This is for proposed plan, final version. Oh, yeah, actually.
You can take.
Yeah,
it
if I could
on.
take this and then I'll bring it back and we'll
Okay,
put
sure.
it, we will put this on the website as well. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, minutes.
Okay, Madam Chair, I propose that we accept the minutes of November 24th, 2014 and December 8th, 2014.
They looked acceptable to me as well. All in favor?
I need a second.
I'm gonna
Oh, I'm
Second.
sorry, I'm rushing.
Yeah, I'll
You're
second.
seconding for both?
Second both.
All right, all in favor for both?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Shall we, I have a relatively clean copy here, Jane. Do you want us to just sign this one, or?
Oh, sure.
All right. some minutes. And I'm going to kind of take this along with minutes because it seems a bit related. You put the 2015 meeting schedule in our packet as well. Did this revise from last time? Or is this?
No, it's revised.
It's revised, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And this has been filed with whomever?
Yeah, I filed it with the clerk.
Okay, got it.
You know what, just one additional, maybe with Cindy, just get it updated on the website. If
Oh, I
you just
think
give
I
that
did.
to her. I checked this
Yeah.
morning, just double
Oh.
check, just
Yeah.
double check.
Oh,
I don't know
I'll
when
send
her
her-
publishing deadline is, like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Oh,
I
okay.
could have checked at 9 this morning and it syncs at 10, do you know,
Yeah.
like with some
Yeah.
publishing
But
tools?
I think I sent her the.
All right, you just follow, you know,
Yeah,
she
that'd be
might
a
have
good
just
one, just
been.
make a note.
Scan, but I'll
Yep.
be happy.
Thank
to
you.
resend it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay, so Bridget, we put report just in case she was coming.
Okay, I do have.
you have Neshoba
a
stuff
report.
over there?
Yeah, she left.
Yeah, and here, I have a whole bunch of stuff on her.
Well, well, well. Let's see what we got. Inspections, critical items. So she should be doing Empire pretty soon.
She did.
She did it, but then I had at the last meeting, she was going to do them
it again.
again in a month.
Again, a month, she had said.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she'd already done it twice.
She did it,
She did it,
She
there
did
was
it.
a lot of
That's right.
Yeah.
evaluations, we made her go back.
yeah,
And then she was gonna follow up
and
again.
everything was good, so she was gonna go back again
In a
just
month.
to,
Right.
yeah, just to check.
I think these are probably just routine food
Yeah, John.
inspections and stuff, aren't they?
Ooh, John. Wait,
Right at the, over the bridge. It's the Korean restaurant, Wujang.
that one's who, John? Oh, it was Ruri on the, yeah, okay. Okay. Yep, right, got it. Okay.
You pass them over when you're
Yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah. Neshoba Park. Where's Neshoba Park?
Assisted living.
Something.
Oh, okay. It's called, okay.
Winford
She actually did a nice summary on the front, if you happen to notice.
Ah, I like that.
I did,
Oh, well,
Nice.
because there was a lot of stuff, it wasn't just a few.
very nice, thank you.
Title V, that's Heather's, pass that one right on to Heather because she's gonna
Where
know
is
Mark
that?
what she's
Hacker.
looking
I
at.
saw that just on the front here, Jonathan Drive, a failed Title V inspection.
Do you have to do anything about it?
No.
We
No.
don't
Okay.
connect to town
He's
sewer.
looking into town
They don't
sewer.
have a choice. When a system fails in an area where there's sewer,
Okay. So there's.
the only time you can, if you have a system in use in a sewered area and you have a failed Title V, there's not many ways to get around connecting to the sewer unless there's like really significant site issues or like, you know, you look
Oh, I
at, you look
get
at equal environmental protection, manifest injustice, there's certain things you look at, but there's
Yeah.
not many ways around it.
So if sewer exists
You're
and your
connected.
system fails.
And why wouldn't you want
And
to?
why wouldn't
I
you?
know,
Exactly.
exactly, yeah. Okay. Common
There you
Vic list. Oh, this is nice. So we have a list from Kylie of all the common vics so that we can kind of cross-reference. Oh, and is this just a reissue that has the New England flatbread, I think, on it or something? So
I
there's.
think I need to see that.
I think that was just an update. Excuse me. Oh, nobody's gonna want to sit in this chair. I really am not contagious.
I'm glad she's going to that one again.
Here was the folder for you. Sorry. My arms didn't reach that
All
far.
right.
Okay, and Mary, I believe you attended the quarterly meeting?
I did, and I don't know if you read the article, was in the Lowell Sun about it, but first of all, well, the new healthcare laws have impacted everybody, as you know.
Yes.
We're drowning, when I say we, any health institution, doctors' offices, etc., drowning in paperwork. There's forms and double forms for everything, which is the reason why many physicians have given up their practice and said, you know, it's too expensive to do this. I'll work for a hospital and just become a hospitalist.
Yeah.
So one of the things that Neshoba, being a very small organization as opposed to private companies that are out there, and you know if you read the paper, they're everywhere now and they're huge and coming into this area, they have tried to keep their costs down. They probably, in retrospect, when you think about it, should have raised things a little bit, but you know, they represent 15 communities, we're small. However, now, with the pension problem at the state, we're still waiting to hear what the outcome of that is going to be. They're waiting for a legal opinion on that. They know they're going to get hit with some, and it was the state's fault for not taking the pension money and now going back and assessing the agency for as many years as they can get. So they have some money aside for that. What Jim is doing right now is he's working with them over at the main office in Neshoba Nursing in Shirley, and they're consolidating everything. They're putting more stuff online so that there won't be paper permits out there.
Makes sense.
But by the same token, you have to have enough cash to pay your vendors. If you submit a bill and you don't get reimbursed for 4 or 5 months from and I guess the commercial insurances as opposed to Medicare are worse than Medicare, then you've still got to pay your people. So you have to have some cash out there. They're going to look and evaluate during this coming year to see if there are any programs that they're running which they're really not paying for themselves, and maybe they should get rid of those. So
Yeah.
there will, the nursing contract is up this year, so that will have to be done before July 1st. So they did come up with an increase, I believe ours, and he was supposed to send them out or try to get them out Friday. I believe the increase in hours is $980 for Neshoba Nursing.
That's for the year?
That's the increase.
Right, I mean, that's
If you
for the annual increase.
Yes, for
Yeah.
this year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I know they bill us per quarters.
yeah, no, that's
Okay.
it will be on one side of it.
Okay,
so.
got it. Now, is that just Neshoba? I know there's 2 components to what they bill.
But it's
Is
on
this
the
all
same
of it?
thing.
It's all on the same thing, okay.
When we submit our stuff to the finance people and to Lisa, we submit the stipend for the animal inspector, that's one sheet.
Yeah.
Then we put ours in,
Yeah, I
and
actually
then
have
when
that.
Jim sends over the Neshoba Associated, we submit that. It is not all on one sheet.
It's not all one budget.
Now, see how this actually is it. It goes Neshoba Board of Health, and there's nursing.
Correct.
And then there's this.
But he
So,
sends that over.
is it just this line item that's
It
going up, or
is
will it be both?
No, it's one item.
Okay.
And I believe, I'd have to see his
Yeah.
sheet because
Yeah.
this is different, but
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah,
we
it's
have
the
the same
same
one.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
no,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
I told Lisa already that number we don't.
well,
She knows
you know,
that.
She knows
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
She does know that.
I mean, we don't send a sheet in like this. We send to Lisa. We send 3 separate papers in, is what I'm saying.
Well, what we sent in this year was, it's an Excel spreadsheet, so it just, yeah, I mean, you could put page breaks in it, but that's pretty much how it looked. And when we get down to budget,
No.
I have the,
But,
what I submitted.
yeah, well,
All right. I
So-
understand. I see
okay.
what
so anyway, he was going to try and get those out on Friday because, you know, everybody is working right now on their budgets.
Okay, so he'll have, it should be out there.
Yeah, and they'll also, this is the year for their reaccreditation from the Department of Public Health. That's every 3 years. And they've never had any fines before. However, the state has come up with some huge fines now, apparently, if they find one little thing wrong. So that will be coming up. And that's pretty, oh, the new codes finally go through for this Affordable Care Act. So there's a whole set of new codes that are going to be in by this fall.
Yeah,
And
billing
apparently,
codes, you're
if
saying,
you
yeah.
miss one of those codes, they'll send everything back and you'll have to refile it. And then I also got this, and we might want to put it in our contact book. It's the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It's in the Ebola
Oh, yeah.
checklist that just come out.
Yes.
And that's the latest thing, so if Jane can
Yes.
put that in that white book we have with contacts, and that's,
Yeah, that would be
that's
great.
that.
Okay.
Also, I just wanted to get back to, Bridget did tell me today, when she was going out, she must have been going over to, well, she was going up West Main Street last week. And you know the building, it's on the right-hand side, it was probably a motel at one time. It sits back, it's kind
Yep.
of a blue-gray building.
Yep.
2 floors.
Yep.
And on the lower level, there was a pile of trash. It's just sitting out there, so she was going to try and locate
Oh, I know
who
where
the
you're
owner
talking about.
Yeah.
I know
is
where you're
and send him a
talking
note. And I did drive
Okay.
up there today and look, and it's a
It's
mess.
still there?
Oh, yes.
I wonder if they're doing clean out or
Well,
something. and
January
waiting for
12th could be.
dumpster. Yeah.
Could be that somebody could have vacated,
It's really a mess.
left a present.
It's
Somebody
all.
could have left.
Well, there's actually something that I need to follow up with. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if it's that property or not, with chief of police or whatever. Did anybody hear anything about supposedly a drug raid or arrest or something that was made on West Main Street at a property that had no running water?
I didn't hear anything.
Someone at Christmas told me about that, and they were a friend of a policeman in a neighboring town. And they asked me what was going on with it. I said I had absolutely no idea. And I did not know the Board of Health was aware of it. But I don't know if it involved that property. I've seen nothing in the paper. I will contact the chief. It could have just been a rumor. I have no idea if it was true or not. But I kind of wondered, was it the property that we've heard about previously that might have running water problems? Or possibly it may have
I
been
heard
that one.
nothing. I saw nothing in the paper either.
I didn't either. I'll send the chief an email. It could have been absolutely nothing, just an idle rumor. I don't know. But okay, so West Main. I'll just ask what the story was there. All right. Thank you, Mary, and thank you for
Okay.
attending those. I do appreciate that. For ongoing business, at the time that we made up this agenda, we were in a little bit of a limbo with the Chungi Oriental Market. Now here it's Chungi.
Yeah, when they sent it in, they called themselves Oriental Market.
Yeah, and then
Something doing business as.
but then on Bridget, she had it as like Wujang or something. I don't
Wujang
know.
is a Korean restaurant.
Oh, it's the restaurant. That's right. Okay. All right, I'm getting totally
Is this
confused.
permit renewed?
It is renewed.
Okay.
She just got the information in today. She had not gotten her certificate back from the state yet.
Okay.
It was the only issue, but she got it today. She brought it in. We just signed it.
Good.
All of the tobacco licenses
Good.
are up to date.
Awesome.
So what I think you might want to do with that one is, have you sent Carly also a copy of, I know Jane sent a copy of the spreadsheet to Joan Hamlet. Just, if you haven't already sent one, just send one to Carly so that
Yeah,
we're sharing info and
Yeah.
she knows.
yeah. I
What we
think I've
have.
already done it, but I'll check.
I think you might have also,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so for the annual report, I'm sorry, I didn't have this ready in time to hand out. It isn't due in until February 3rd, so we actually will have one more meeting before then. So this is what I put together. I built on what Heather had from last year, you know, updated some new stuff. Thought we don't necessarily have to go through this
No, I'll read it.
line by
if
line.
we could. No.
Take it and read it.
There is
You can either
a,
email me or whatever.
sure. Animal inspector has to return one too.
Oh, shoot, I gotta, yeah. I
It's
saw
a
you just
separate, it's a very simple one. She just gives a summary of what she did. And,
Yes.
she did it last year with, she should be fine.
Yeah, and you know what, Jane, when you and I talked on the phone and Carly said that she was confused, what she need to do with her job description?
Right,
I think that's what she's confused about. It's
Oh,
not the
okay.
job description, it's the annual report.
annual report,
Yeah.
okay. I'll tell her,
So if you can just send her what's in the existing
okay.
annual report, which you can get off the website, she can pretty much do the same thing possibly and change the numbers, because that's really all that changes with her. Okay, so we can feel free to edit as
Okay.
necessary, and
Okay.
we'll take another
No.
look at that next week. But next week, we do have to finalize.
Okay.
All right, animal inspector. I love having this on every single agenda. We had a bit of a kerfuffle about the way our motion possibly was worded last time, and I don't think any of us knew any better. What happened was, after our last meeting, which, gosh, was what, the end of
December
November?
8th. December 8th.
Oh, that's right, beginning of December. I went to the accounting office and asked Marcia to write a check for $650
Yep.
to Carleen out of the animal inspector budget, and asked her, what do I need to do? Or out of the, I'm sorry, Board of Health
Board of
budget.
Health budget.
She said, just send an email. So if anyone's interested, I have the string of emails. I emailed and said that we had voted at our last meeting to increase her stipend, and we were going to cover it this year from, at least this partial payment, we were going to cover from secretary's salary. Got back an email
From,
from Lisa. No, from, when it just says account ACCT at
Okay,
Ayer, that's
that's
coming from
fine.
Lisa, correct?
sure.
Yeah, okay. Saying that, we have to go to town meeting in order to increase a stipend and move money from one budget category to another. We can, if we wish to, cover this under the Board of Health appropriation. But that's how the motion has to be worded and voted.
Well, okay, so I thought the motion was to pay out of the Board of Health budget.
It was.
It was, but after the exact wording, and I asked Jane to be really careful about getting the wording done, was that we actually said something in that motion about increasing the stipend.
I actually don't know. I think we talked about it for the following year, but that's fine.
Yeah.
However, if you need me to, if you have something for me to read, I will read it.
Well,
If-
I
however you
think,
need
no,
to
actually, I
motion it.
didn't write up anything to read. I think, I'm not even sure what the proper Robert's rules are here. Do we vacate the previous motion? Do we?
If I might, I think.
Yeah,
now
please,
that-
I don't know what to do.
Now I'm understanding what Lisa was saying. because what she was saying was you can't increase any type
Right,
of budget
right.
or
That's correct.
stipend during the year. She's absolutely right on that.
Yes.
But I believe, now, tell me again exactly, have you got the information there? What is,
Well, the motion that we made was to transfer, well, it was 500, then amended to 650. From the AA line item into the AI stipend to provide additional funding for this fiscal year. Okay, so it would have been great if she gave you, some language for us.
Yeah.
However,
Is
you know what, we are the Board of Health. If I decide to make a motion to vacate the motion, then we can do as ever we need to get our animal inspector paid.
That's what I'm kind of thinking, is maybe we just start fresh and move to
Can I-
vacate the previous.
Sure.
can I see exactly what she sent in the email,
Yeah.
so
It kind of
we don't go through this
starts,
many times?
here was my email to her, so there's one. Then we move up to two, and then here's my response to her, so, yeah, just go back.
However it needs to read.
Yeah.
I know it, I know. And see, I think I understand when I actually look at the budget.
I don't disagree. I totally understand with what
Yeah.
she's saying. And it's administrative, but it's government, and it has to be done a certain way. I totally get it. The idea that we'd said transfer into the stipend budget is,
Yeah.
as you know, because on this sheet, the inspector's position is a completely different budget item.
That's right.
I understand that. I
That's this
totally get it.
1247.
All right, let's update
Number.
the motion then,
Wait,
because.
well, can you
Yeah.
just wait a second
Yes,
till
of
we
course.
finish this?
I think I have a way to do it, but.
I would actually say that it would just be to pay her $650, period, out of the administrative assistant budget.
No kidding.
Is it that we specified which line item and if we
That's
were-
correct.
Yeah.
that where we're running amiss? And
Yep.
if we just set out the Board of Health budget
my
without
theory.
specifying,
That's
the
my
bottom
thought.
line, without specifying exactly where it's coming from?
Yep. Well, I think it's okay to say where it's coming from. We just can't say that it's going to
We're not transferring
the barn
it into-
inspector stipend.
Right.
We are making a payment to Carleen Purdy for services rendered to the Board of Health.
It's fine.
I understand. That sounds like a motion to me, Pam, and as
I
a
think it
small
does,
board,
too.
you can make that motion.
Okay, then, do we first need to vacate the previous one?
If you so choose. We are the Board of Health. Vacate the prior motion if you so see fit.
Okay, then
You're the chairman.
I move to vacate the motion that we made on December 8th, where we voted to move $650 from the salary line item under the Board of Health budget to the animal inspector stipend. I move that we vacate that
Second.
motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Motion's gone, clean slate.
Okay.
Now, I move. Well, actually, let me say this first before we start moving anywhere.
Yeah.
So what she did in order to get a payment to Carleen was, we had the $1,000 in the barn inspector line item.
Yeah.
She cut it out of there.
Okay,
So we have
we're gonna pay her later on.
we're gonna pay her
then.
later on
That's
out of
fine.
ours. So I don't
We still need to
think-
approve
Yes,
that
we
money.
did, and we need to approve
We just
it.
need to approve the money, and that way you'll have it documented for the second part of the year.
Okay, great.
Do you follow me?
Yeah, so we need a motion right now to pay her $650 out of the animal inspector.
Correct.
Okay. Then I move that retroactive to December, let's say 8th, I'm not sure what day it was cut,
Why don't you just say December?
to December 2014. that we make a payment out of the budget line item 1247 barn inspector / animal inspector budget and cut a check of $650 to Carleen Purdy out of that item.
Well, that money's already there for her. So we don't need to move to pay her what's already in our budget. That money's still sitting in our budget,
Okay.
right? Do you follow me? Like,
I
we haven't
do.
paid her yet for her term, so you're just paying her out of.
Early.
Paying
Yeah,
her early.
okay.
So what you want to do is approve future payment out of the administrative assistant budget when she needs the balance of the money for the year. Do you follow me? Because you've already paid her
I
$650
do.
out of the already approved barn inspector budget. So right now, there's $350 left in that budget. But we
I
want to
got it.
add
We gotta
add the
$650.
Right,
So the
right,
motion would
Okay.
be that
Okay.
you would almost want it to be something to the effect of prior to the, something to the effect of, and I'm just going to throw it out there, is prior to the expiration of the current inspector's term, that we authorize a $650 payment be paid to cover services to the barn inspector out of the Board of Health budget. Because that's where it's going to come from
Perfect.
eventually. Do you follow me? So
You got
is
it.
it fair to say prior to the expiration of the
Her term.
current
Right.
animal inspector term,
Yes.
that the Board of Health approves $650 be paid out of the Board of Health budget to Carleen Purdy? Period.
I'll second that.
Got that?
Motion if I ever heard one.
You can clean it up.
No, I think you got it.
Okay, could you repeat that, please?
Yep.
I know.
So prior to the expiration of the current animal inspector term, which will end on April
April
30th,
30th, yeah.
the Board of Health shall approve $650 be paid to Carleen Purdy out of the Board of Health budget.
Yes.
Probably come out different the second time around.
And I seconded that.
Okay, so Heather made the motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, for services rendered to the Board of Health.
Got it.
Okay, let me read this back.
Yeah.
Motion by Heather Haas. Prior to the expiration of the AI, or the animal inspector's current term, something, Board of Health is approving $650 out
Yep.
of the Board of Health budget, but I'm missing something.
That expires in April.
Oh,
April
Yeah, her
is
term
probably your
expires April
AP.
30th.
That expires
April.
So prior to that, we're
April.
authorizing a $650.
30th. Okay. Prior to the expiration of the animal inspector's current term on April 30th, 2015, we are, Board of Health is approving
Yeah, we're approving a payment.
Approving a payment
a payment
of $650
of $650.
Yeah.
out of the Board of
out
Health
the
budget.
Board of Health budget.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes,
All right,
Short and sweet.
to the animal inspector.
to the animal inspector.
Well, we've already
Carleen.
identified that
that's
it's the
correct.
animal inspector, so
Right. I moved, you seconded.
I seconded it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh my God.
I don't want to see this, I don't want to see it again. I don't want to, I'm like, oh, but it makes sense. I get what Lisa obviously caught us and set us straight.
This is only half the story. I spent every night last week, I was on the phone with Carleen for an animal problem.
I do have a question around the animal inspector budget. Madam Chair, before we
Yes.
broke for the year, you were going to submit the budget worksheets to accounting, and then you fell ill, and we didn't meet in at the end of December. So did
But
you?
I got him in.
Perfect. I just wanted a copy just for our
Yes.
records.
Here's one, pass that to Jane, here's one to Mary. I also requested a meeting with FinCom, even though our budget
good.
is so small, we don't need one. I
Yeah.
felt that it was necessary to explain what we were trying to do here. So what you'll see that
I
I
see.
put here in the notes is I do have that increased stipend. Salary, I left the same pending, union contract. I upped the services to
Yep.
$1,000 because
Yep.
we've
We
got a
talked
few.
about,
Yep. Just put in a modest increase in
Yep,
percentage for supplies. And
That's fine.
that's about the size
that's
of it,
fine,
really.
yeah. If you could just make sure that the actual line item that reads barn inspector be changed. I do see that you
Yep.
have that
Animal
note,
inspector.
but
Yes.
I insist that it be changed.
Absolutely, it's gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will most definitely follow that one
Excellent.
back.
I don't think it's bad for you to offer to give insight into that one, so that way at
Yeah.
least they can support that on the floor of town meeting if there is a question.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them looking at it and going,
Well,
holy cow, where is this?
But I
you know?
think if you, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Probably not necessary, but
Yeah,
it doesn't
but-
hurt to get their support.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And Jim might have sent this in already. He was going to try, they voted Thursday night. He was going to try and get them out on Friday.
Okay,
Because he realized that
yeah.
this is the time everybody's doing
Good.
the
Thank you for that.
Exactly. Okay.
All right, great.
All right, next item I just had was, we've been carrying this one for a while, but thinking about goals and objectives for 2015. One thing that I would really like to stop coughing is my goal right now. One thing that I would like to do before the end of this fiscal year, because we have money in the budget that we could use for the public hearing, is to go back and clean up and finalize the work that I did with the aquifer district, streamlining that thing.
Should we get through solid waste first?
Yes.
So we have
It's
time to-
possible that they could run on separate tracks.
I'm at a loss. What are you talking about with regard to the aquifer?
If you recall, throughout a lot of 2013, I was involved in trying to take the aquifer district regulation and make it more understandable and interpretable. And I was trying to do flow charts. And then, then I ended up being chair, and, it kind of fell to the wayside for a while. But what I really have envisioned there is keeping the content. I mean, the requirements that are in it are good. If you have a business and you're in the aquifer, you can't do this, that, and the other thing. But I pulled up over the Christmas break the work that I did and took a look at it again and said, I think what we really need to do here is to have a very top level question. Do you have a business? Do you have a residence? Because there really are kind of two tracks within that. Are you a business or are you a residence? If you are a residence, you're not operating a junkyard. You're not collecting used oil. You're not storing large quantities of pesticides. So it's really more kind of,
If you're proposing to just simply reorganize them,
yeah.
I don't think I have it in me to go through another reg again right now,
Yeah.
as far as
Me
rewrite.
It's a
But if
reorganization.
you want to take a crack at organizing the regulation so it flows easier, what would we need to do? We would need to maybe just reformat, I mean, to make it
If you're
easier.
reformatting,
Yeah.
which we've done with others, that's fine.
Yeah,
But
does
if
that
you
require
want to
trouble
write
I don't
two
think so.
different regulations.
No, it's one
Okay.
regulation.
If you're gonna just reorganize it to make it
Yeah.
read easier,
It
I
would-
think
Not a
you'd be
problem.
okay.
It would be more of a, I don't know if this counts as a change, but it would be possibly an introduction that says, this is set up in two different tracks. These apply if you have a business, these apply if you have a residence.
So I think there's two things, is one, if you're going to just simply reorganize it to make it read a little bit better, I don't believe that a public hearing is needed, because you're not changing the requirements.
Okay.
I would probably be cautious about adding any additional text to it. However, we have some version of some document that calls itself an application upstairs, that you could put something on that might
Yeah.
say, please be sure to reference the aquifer reg. And that's because that application doesn't show me anything. It's just like
Right.
So
That
you
actually
might-
might be the
And that's
easier,
what we
yeah.
talked about before, I
So
think,
we might
when
not
you
need a
first
public
started.
hearing, but
Yeah.
if you want to pick it up again, my concern, Pam, for you is you've also been kind of the champion for the solid waste regs, and I don't want you to take on championing both of them at the same time and,
Yeah,
and getting
yeah, I
yourself
know.
burned out,
Yeah.
you know, and so
Yeah.
that's my concern for you. But if we're going to have a public hearing in June or July on solid waste,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, did Bridget get a copy of that? Does she have it now? Okay.
Yep, she does. She does.
If you want to revisit it in your own time and then put yourself on the agenda for a couple meetings from now to show us
Sure.
what you've done.
Okay. Yeah, and
I just don't want to see you pick up something that, as you have found as chairman, you will get pulled whatever way you need to be based upon
Yeah.
the week. And so,
yeah.
I don't see it as a bad objective for 2015 to do an administrative update to it to make it read better, because I had a challenging time understanding it on first pass, but I think it's you could probably do a
You
little
might
bit
be
of
right.
work.
It might be more in the application that,
Maybe, but I think the reg itself could be just organized a little bit.
there is a funny thing about the reg, where this is something that Mark Wetzel has brought up before, that the reg does right now, and I have no idea if this constitutes a change or not, and actually Mary and I looked back together through some old annual reports from the town meetings. The way the aquifer reg is written right now, it references a specific map. That map reference is out of date. So I don't know, there have been town meetings at which the correct map has been identified. So I'm not sure if that's a change to the reg that requires
Well-
a public hearing or not.
I don't believe so. I believe that's the problem with,
It's a reg too. It's our reg, right? I
we
mean,
made a
yeah.
reg, but they,
the map is
planning board
adopted by
put-
the bylaw.
a
Right.
map, and if they didn't ever send in the correct map for the defining the district, that's what I think he's talking about. Has nothing to do with our regs.
Right. Except
No,
if our
our-
regs reference that
Our
old
regs
map.
reference the map, and the
Well-
reference in our reg is out of date.
Well-
That map is not the current map.
Does it say a particular map, or does it just say the current?
No, it has
Actual
date,
map.
and
Oh.
it's not the right,
I hate that.
yeah, I know.
You know what? Why don't we walk before we run? Take a look
Yeah,
at it on an
okay.
organizational level.
Yeah,
And then if there is anything, I know we are looking at tobacco, which, you know, in my
oh God, I know.
vision of seeing, you know, solid waste tobacco regs, because we do
Yeah.
have an imminent need to look at that to address the e-cigarettes and to address that.
Yeah, yeah.
If you know, but it doesn't mean it's not something, it
Yeah.
couldn't be a 2015 objective to.
No, that's true. I think the only reason it jumped out at me was when I was doing the annual report, I was going back through
Oh,
my,
it's
my folder of
jogged your
stuff, and I
memory.
went, oh geez, I did a lot of work on this and didn't, you know, bring it to
Yeah.
fruition, so.
Okay.
Anyway, so, I'll look again.
Good question. So, if in our regulations, we reference a zoning map that was adopted at a particular town meeting, is that it?
No, it's the actual date that's on the map.
Oh, it'll say such and such map by, you know,
Yeah, like
Weston and
for-
Sampson
I still
dated
have it, yeah.
November 10th, 1987 or something.
Yeah.
I understand what you're,
Well, I'm just trying to see if we can,
For example.
Yeah, there's like a file name and date on this map.
okay,
know what?
but on our
So-
regulations,
it's in there.
It says
Yeah,
that,
in there.
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, in our regulation, it says,
You know,
you know, on
I
this
don't think we
map-
have to make a change on
I
that.
think that you could,
I don't
look
think
at the
you have
reg in its totality. I am not in favor of busting that reg open to
to.
rewrite it.
Nope.
But if we need to, if there's a way that we can put some thought into it, look at it and
Yeah.
see,
The main reason I think we need to do something to it, and I'm not sure what yet, and I will look at it again and bring the facts, but when I read the regulation, I said, okay, where is this map? And I looked and looked for the map, no map. Says there's a copy of it on file at the town clerk. I went to the town clerk.
Right.
There's this map. We don't have it.
it's not uncommon.
Called DPW.
I've been there. I've been down that same path, by the
DPW.
way.
We have a map, but it's a different map, a different date. So.
A town with a lot of history
Oh.
and a town with a lot of growth tends to have those kind of that same kind of common vein that runs through it. Is you update maps, you want to keep them updated. It's
But
just
what-
administratively. You
what
know, I
map-
think it could be an administrative thing.
I do
or,
too, but
Yeah.
what map went into the state? What do they have
Right.
listed there?
That's what
the question.
DPW has, and that's why the question came from Mike to begin with. Is
Does-
Mike was saying the map that the DPW has is not the same,
So
and the DEP, their maps are not the same map that's referenced in our reg.
Is the map that he's saying he has, did that get approved by town meeting, or?
Yeah, that's the one that we found in the, I don't remember what date of town meeting it is. I'll bring an outline
Yeah,
of
let's
the
find out.
scenario
It might
next
be
time.
just making an
Yeah.
administrative change. I'm not envisioning
something,
changing all those
it-
regs.
yeah.
You know where I think something went wrong though with this, and another thing that made me think about it again is, do you recall Bridget, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, had something come to her, and she hadn't acted on it because according to her map, the address was not within the aquifer, but then when she looked at another map, it was one of those, oh damn, it is. So I think we even have an issue of that. I think we have like these multiple revs of maps out there and maybe some confusion over what is and isn't,
That was
so.
Vitasoy, wasn't it?
I think it was something either related to Vitasoy or possibly the power company thing.
All right.
I don't know.
Well-
I'll dig it out.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Sounds like you got your work cut out for you.
Next RAB meeting is Thursday. Just to give you a very quick update on that, I believe their intent is to primarily focus on plow shop and railroad roundhouse. And according to the information that I received from Robert Simeone on email, I believe that what they are proposing is a no further action for Plow Shop Pond, and they are proposing some limited action in the form of additional land use controls for Roundhouse. So I will have more information on that after the next meeting, and I believe it was Laurie Nearing wrote a very nice letter
He did.
to the editor that was published in the Public Spirit last Friday, saying, this meeting is happening, it's a public meeting, it's not, you know, like a government people-only thing, it's a citizens thing. Come to this meeting. And it's general, you know, RAB meeting. It's not only limited to these topics here. So hopefully that, you know, may get us some more attendance. And like you say, Mary, if anybody talks to you about it again, or if that person comes back to you between now and then, definitely tell them, RAB meeting Thursday, it's at
Well,
Devon's.
Yes, and I understand that, but sometimes you have young families that one spouse is traveling and
Oh, I
there
know,
are young
I know.
children at home type thing, but I do think that when someone calls, they could get a, shall we say, pleasant answer
Mm-hmm.
and not something like that.
Well, if they call me on my prednisone, I don't know what kind of answer they're going to get. No, you're absolutely right.
So this one will be on the Roundhouse and Plow Shop.
It's a
primarily.
general, it's a RAB meeting.
Yeah,
There is a proposed plan being
Okay.
put forth that specific to Plow Shop and Roundhouse, that they don't feel they need anything additional. They think Plow Shop is done with, and they think that Roundhouse needs a little bit of additional land use controls, which
Okay.
I'm sure we'll hear more about. But I'm also going to follow up with them, of course, on the Shepleys in general, and what are we doing there as far as continued monitoring and getting that information out to the public. We did find an issue that Jane was very helpful in resolving a couple of months ago, where someone, may have been the same family, on West Main Street, was trying to access on our website the annual report for Shepleys. And when they went on there, they found that sure enough, the annual report was there, but the report refers to a whole bunch of appendices, which is where all the data is from the monitoring
God.
wells. And Jane got Cindy to, apparently Cindy had only put on the report, not the appendices, so those are all up on our website now and accessible there.
Oh,
Great.
worse than that, the original appendices were not on the original CDs. They
Oh,
had
really?
The engineers, the engineering firm or whatever had to resend because they were left off the CDs, yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so it was pretty involved,
Yeah, okay.
and it took a while.
And I'll just take these to review before the meeting, and then I'll get them back to
And
you.
make sure that the indices, you know, the.
Oh, yeah, now that I know, I didn't know that. Now that I know that, I'm gonna look. Okay, so that was everything I had for ongoing business. Did I miss anything significant? Anyone, ladies? No? Okay.
have you had any more contact with Joan with regards to tobacco and anything?
Actually, Jane has had the most contact with her.
And I can do that report now or wait until I'm doing my.
I just didn't know if
report
you
on-
had anything with e-cigarettes or any of
Oh,
that stuff that
not
she was
that.
got.
No,
That's what
no.
well, that was primarily what
Oh.
she came to us for, was all that.
Yes, but my impression of what happened was that she got totally blindsided by that Westminster thing, and that just ended up consuming her. So then all the end of the year compliance checks and renewals. So I think
That's
it is
okay.
time to approach her again.
Well,
though.
no, that's okay. We got enough on our plate. I just wondered if you had a follow-up.
Well, we were waiting,
but I
if you
should.
can remember, we were waiting until we put the trash hauler reg to bed.
Well,
And-
the trash hauler regs will not be done until after the
But the-
start of the new year, so I
Right, but
thought,
are working and drafting on those,
Yeah, true. Yeah.
so.
those are all done.
But she's just waiting for us, if we're ready, we can
Yeah, she's
get in
given
touch
us
with her.
the versions.
Yeah,
So it's now up to us to decide when we want to put that on the agenda for another
right.
look.
And she's more than happy to come and visit us, she tells me.
So are you complying with this, Jane? Do they have a photo of you?
Oh, this photo thing?
Yeah,
It's for everybody.
well, hired. You're our only employee that was
for the-
hired.
Yeah,
Go get your picture taken.
somebody came and took my picture last week.
Oh, okay, perfect, then you're all set.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
But they also have, and it's in the, maybe it's in there.
Can you hand over some mail?
Photo ID.
Yeah. it's a couple of
The
things.
photo ID, is that in the mail thing? About the photo ID?
Oh, I don't know if it had a photo ID. I think it just said they wanted a picture of
For the
new
annual
people.
report, yeah. But they also are looking for, several of you have asked about receiving a new Town of Ayer photo ID badge.
What?
What?
And so
We
we're
have
going to
photo
be taking
emails?
photos and printing the badges on Wednesday, January
For what?
21st, at the fire station.
For what?
Oh,
Here.
You know what, the town hall I used to work in now has photo badges that you have to scan in.
no. Yeah.
It's a security
It's only if
access.
you want one.
Okay, looks like that was kind of
This
resolved.
is if you want one.
Yeah, you can
Solid
hand
Waste
that down.
Cooperative.
actually.
Air transfer station and recycling center inspection. Very interesting.
This is mail.
It's just some mail.
Okay.
Yeah, acceptable, acceptable. 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 Lacking. Okay, what do we have here? Hazardous waste and waste oil collections. Yeah. Okay. All right, so looks hot loads, lacking, locate a fire extinguisher. That doesn't look too bad. All right, cool. Report on the transfer station. These
see it.
Region 2 P helps. Do one of you go to those?
No.
No.
No, okay.
Okay, well, if you don't go, then I won't put them in, I won't follow that thread then.
I get them. I
Should we
get them.
go? Do we need to go?
I get them. I mean, I get it as an email, so.
I kind of think of you, Heather, as like
Yeah,
our-
but there's a difference. I mean, this isn't anything that.
No, but I mean, whenever I
yeah.
think of like public
Yeah, yeah,
emergency
yeah,
health,
yeah.
I always think
Yeah.
of you as the one that knows
Yeah.
about that, so
I get it by email, just by
Okay.
default.
that's why I'm asking
Well,
you.
then I'll not include.
Well, not all of us have email, so make sure if it's to the Board of Health and it's something that's a meeting, I can't make that decision, but, some of them are relative, some of them are just some of them, the title of the person sending it is longer than the email.
I know, I don't understand what most of them are.
Well, I'm
I don't
still
need to see that.
feeling
Okay.
my way. as
That's
to
all right.
what's
Better to
important
send
and what's
more than-
not
This,
important.
this one, this goes in the property file.
Yeah, we don't need
That's
to see
report of
that.
loss,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know that.
No need.
This one, though, has me totally baffled.
Can I see it? Oh, be careful.
Jeez.
Oh, this is just an environmental site report for remedial for some monitoring done.
Oh.
This is just the notice of the report being available at the DEP Central Region Office. That's all.
Okay.
It's just monitoring being done at the property at 211 West Main.
Okay.
So
Got it.
it's just a
It's just telling
notice
us
that it's available. They've
something
done
is
an
done.
environmental self-assessment, right, health,
I see.
environmental health assessment.
This has nothing to do with
No.
Devon's, Rab.
No, that's the
Shepley's,
property.
it's the
No,
property.
I can't
Okay.
speak to whether it has anything to do with one or the other, but I can tell you that it's a notice of availability about reporting done on that property.
211?
211 West
Oh,
Main,
that's
that's
all.
the garage,
Yeah,
correct?
and that's just a DEP
Okay.
report that's available. It's a report available at DEP
Okay.
for you to, if you, it's, all they have to do is let you know it's there.
Okay, put that one in the property file.
Yep, I will.
Okay, so here's the rest of
Okay.
Great.
that file. Got any bills, other than the one you just tore up?
Nope.
That was not
Let me
something,
just make sure, before I say for sure, but no, I don't think so. I just have the worksheets and the stuff here, but no bills.
okay, good, I like no bills. Anything to update us?
Yeah, a few things.
Okay.
just that, Carly has her barn inspection all done.
Yes, and the book is in.
And the book is in, and I brought down copies somewhere of the things if you wanted to look at them. I also am very happy to report that the tobacco regs, or the tobacco permits are, everyone has
Yeah, we're
got
clean,
their
right?
permit. Yeah, we made a
Good.
clean sweep.
Good
And,
one.
the last straggler came in today, so we just signed it and we're picking it up. I sent the
Awesome.
I sent the spreadsheet off to Joan last week.
Joan has that, yep.
Yep, and that's all she needed. I talked to her, and I will update the spreadsheet and include straggler.
That's
So it's
great.
those strings are tied up.
So she didn't need copies of the actual licenses?
Not at all.
Okay.
She'd rather not have them. She just wants
Yeah.
to know that they have.
That's what I wasn't sure.
Yeah, she,
about.
because it
Okay.
becomes a filing nightmare. she
Yeah.
said. So just that she just needs the information and especially the contact information.
Yeah, contact them where they
So she likes
are.
the spreadsheet
Okay, cool.
information. So,
Right.
and I think that's it.
Okay, the only other thing that I have that touches on an admin update and kind of bleeds over into miscellaneous is I've been thinking about ways that we could tie our information repository that we have upstairs together a little bit better. And I talked to Carleen a little bit about this. Carleen had a really crazy animal incident last week that I won't bore you with the details of, but we had many, many conversations about it, and she's doing a great job, I gotta say. So this question came up of, you have a book, and you record, you put all the dog bite forms in
Right.
there.
Yes.
But what we don't have a good way to do is we don't have a lot of cross-referencing. And we made a great step in that direction when Deb did the property files. Thank you, Deb.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that was a wonderful thing. There, I think, are some opportunities to do similar improvements there. Like with the animals, I thought, is there a way that we could tie to an owner or to an address so that when Carleen gets a report of, oh, there's been a dog bite at this address or from this owner, is this a repeat problem? How many problems have we had at that address or from that owner? And it's tough with dogs because people move, dogs move. But then my thought process kind of started carrying over to even things like restaurant inspections. We keep duly filing our restaurant inspections.
By establishment,
Yeah.
okay.
Could we do some kind of a database where instead of having to remember, oh yeah, this restaurant, oh yeah, they had a problem a few months ago.
Well,
Let's
you
pull
pull
out
the
all
file.
the papers and look.
You just pull the file and it's there.
But is there a way that we could be entering information as they come in, won't take you long, and then it's there?
What would you be putting in? I have to play devil's advocate because I did it for a
Oh, no,
long
yeah,
time.
I know. I was thinking even about tracking, and this is something that I think Bridget kind of has her own system, but the number of critical violations?
That's the food code. That's governed by the food code.
Right. Sometimes she'll put a 0.
And that means there's none.
There's none. Sometimes she won't put anything,
Right.
but I think what she does is circle the ones that are critical.
Well,
So maybe it's
so-
even number of critical violations and the date.
You know what? You'd have to look at that food form because the form is fairly clear on critical versus non-critical.
Yeah.
Safe food handling versus retail food handling.
Yeah.
So I would actually caution you against repurposing her material into a spreadsheet because it's you're repurposing a document that's been what I would be cautious of is if you make a mistake and you're going to use that as your reference,
Yep.
you're putting yourself out there for exposure. Because let's just say for grins, we're putting them all in, and say you get to one file, and say your long day, I don't know, you start typing in and you mistype, how many criticals? One, how many criticals?
Yeah.
Zero. Say that it's incorrect. I just think that the food forms speak for themselves. Now, if you're looking at other filing things, so I think the food form, it's not a great example, like the housing code. How would you document those? Do you know, like they're all very code-based.
They are, and those possibly could be tied to address. I mean, that's
Yeah,
kind of what we do with the
already
property
tied.
files.
Housing is already tied to an address. You can
Because
pull
they're
the file.
Yeah, and they're.
Food
they're
code
all
are
filed.
tied to a food file.
Yeah.
So if I said, gee, you know what, I really need to go upstairs and see what, I don't know, Mango Grill looks like from the past 6 inspections. I pull the file.
That's right.
They're in there.
Yeah, I know. But I think that's what I'm looking for, is I'm not looking to repurpose anything. I'm more looking for triggers, early triggers of things. And if, it wouldn't be repurposing her information.
No, but if
it would
she-
be pulling a small extract.
Right. I would just be more cautious of it, because if you pull the wrong information,
That's
it's going
right.
to be a problem.
But we would never take an action just based on what's in that spreadsheet.
What would
So-
be the need?
What is the purpose?
The
of it?
purpose
what-
would be,
yeah, what's the
okay,
need?
so the purpose would be, we have Restaurant X in town.
Mm-hmm.
And Restaurant X in January of 2013 had 5 criticals.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were good, for a while. And then in April, they had 4 criticals. And then they got better, but, then they had 2 or 3 criticals. Then we have an election. Now there's a different person on the board. One person doesn't remember. Is there, if that information is getting entered as those forms come to us, then we've got the advantage of our admin being able to take kind of a quick across-the-board look over maybe a 2-year window and go, oh, you know what? Every
I don't
6
know.
months, these
We have an
plans
agent
says
that
2
can
or
do
3.
that. We have a health agent that can do that.
But we just got a report that they're so pressed for, when does she have the time to do that?
Right. Here's the thing. I know, because I read in the paper a number of years ago, this Board of Health took Wendy's to task at a public hearing, and there was documented evidence. I can't imagine that just came out of somebody's memory. Clearly, at some point, it was brought up. I don't
Yeah.
disagree with what you're saying, though. Let me. I don't want to sound like a negative about it. I get what you're doing.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's necessarily a great idea. I'm
Well, I
throwing
don't
it
think
out
it's
there.
great for the food establishments.
Okay.
Because the food code, just so this board understands, and Jane, the food code only requires you to do 2 inspections per year. That's it.
Okay.
2 inspections per year of an establishment. Having her go out and redo these problematic ones is by our direction. So technically, if I go out and I do an inspection at your restaurant and you have violations, I'm going to say, I'm going to be back in 2 weeks, or I'm going to be back tomorrow, based upon the critical
Got it,
violation.
got it.
Then you're not going to see me again for probably maybe another 6 months, or if there's a complaint. So typically, like, we don't see multiple inspections per year from most of our restaurants. The problem was we tend to see, and we're like, why do we keep seeing these? Didn't we just see them?
Yeah, and those are because of her triggering herself to do a follow-up.
Right,
you're saying. I
right.
got it.
And so I don't know that I would be concerned about taking her inspection report and trying to decipher it into a dashboard.
Yeah.
I would get her read on it, only because we pay her to be our eyes and ears, and she's on the floor, and she might say,
Yeah,
oh, you know what, X place had a tough time, but you know what, they just fired that manager, and now they're gonna be back up and running.
yeah.
What I do
yeah.
think is nice is, and I don't mind putting my hat in the ring, I will look at those food inspections. I will look at those food inspections and call out any establishment, like we did this past year with
Yeah.
rock
I
and
know.
roll. It was like, let's do it.
Yeah,
you know?
no, we haven't been shy at all about,
no.
you're right.
And so I think we should be aggressive when it comes to us reviewing them, but
And we have been.
what
with some
I
of them.
agree. What I will say is, I don't need to see multiple critical inspections to be able to identify a problem. I can look at one inspection
Yeah,
report and go,
yeah.
there's a problem here. And
Yeah.
as the board, we don't need to have multiple problems to call them in.
Yeah, Yeah, that's.
So, we can keep an eye on it. I mean, if you want, I'm happy to take the lead in food, but if you're looking for a way to, my only concern with trying to computerize some of the dog bite thing, I mean, you could.
I could see doing the dog bite thing.
I'm
And
more
put it on an
concerned-
Excel
Where do we put
spreadsheet
those forms now?
In a notebook.
in a notebook, and I also.
Like the actual
put-
form
Like by
from the
date,
hospital?
yeah. So they're just all in there by date.
Yeah, and I also put them in the property files. But it would
Okay.
be really helpful
You could keep,
to know if we've got some recidivists, because. it's
so most
very-
of her stuff is not necessarily domestic bites. I mean, they're across the board, they're both.
This last week's to-do
Was it
had
a
to
domestic?
do with 2 dogs fighting.
Okay. So my actual other follow-up thought on that is I would be curious to see how I'm going to say it, how our animal control officer keeps their records over there. Do they keep it by property or by owner? I'd be curious.
It's a good question.
I would be very curious, and I don't mean to sound tongue-in-cheek when I say that. I
No,
would be
I think
very
that's a great
curious
question.
because if they're doing something, or maybe not, they might be in a folder or worse, or in
Well-
a
Or not.
right. The only, when you start to put stuff into a computer and it's on a network and you start listing names and addresses, I always get somewhat concerned with data integrity. I mean, as far as people's names and properties, but I mean, they're listed anyway here,
I know.
I mean,
I know it.
you put some thought around it, maybe come up with maybe ask some other towns, maybe
Yeah.
ask other towns, how do they keep track of, so I'm really not sure how this town does it, and I don't mean to sound naive, but when I worked in public health, we had to log everything in a bound book, every complaint, every bite,
In
and
a
as a matter of
bound
fact, we had a
book?
communicable disease book, and we had to log in things. If I got a report
Wow.
of a communicable disease, like from our I would always refer them to the nursing service, but we had a book
Yeah.
we had to keep. I don't know if that's, I mean, it's different here because
Wow.
Neshoba manages
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
health part, and my
Yeah.
nursing service was right in my town, but we also had a book,
Yeah.
a bound book that you had the name, the address, and if it was a dog bite, it was the same book
Yeah.
because rabies was considered to be reportable just as
But that was a different setup there because you
different.
worked for
But we
an
also
individual.
had, right, but we just had,
Yeah.
the book just logged in the address, and so you might find other towns might do it that way. I don't know.
Yeah, and
But
it
you're
gets-
right, because they're detached. They probably have that book, by the way. I can't imagine they don't, because they have to be able to
Yeah.
point
I
to
know.
something.
I know it. And this thing last week it was a dog in an apartment complex that has a lot of turnover, so I think it could get very difficult.
Extremely.
Put some maybe,
you're-
you know what, maybe Carlene can just keep a log of the property she goes
I
to.
asked Colleen to, think on
Think
her
of a
end
way
about.
if she can.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the follow-up is, do we have to keep those forms? What is the statute? Can we scan them? Why not scan them as PDFs?
Yeah, that's.
They're only a report from the hospital. They're not.
That's right,
They're
yeah.
not anything. Can we scan them and destroy them? Like, can we? Because they're keeping the original record, the hospital, because they're treating the patient. They're reporting to us. I would be curious if we couldn't just scan it in as a PDF and then destroy the hard copy, and then you have a.
Well, right now,
Digital.
you can reference it roughly by time and
Yeah.
by address. 'Cause
Yeah.
I do file those in address files.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, they're also in the property file, right, as
Right.
well as in the
Right.
Which isn't
white.
bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, But so if there's a specific on a specific address, it's pretty easy to pull the file
Yeah,
right.
and see it. But so I don't know what you would use this information for.
Right. It's
What-
right.
for the dog issue, it was more getting at, it was one of those situations where there's been a lot of complaints, in this apartment complex.
Not about one
this-
dog, but about the complex.
No, about a particular terrorist dog. house. So,
And was animal control out there as well, or was
I believe, yeah, from talking to Carlene, the animal control did also go. I mean, this was multiple visits
All
by
right, I don't need the
Carlene
details,
and
yeah,
them.
I'm sure.
So
Okay.
I think he went a couple of times, took him a couple of times to find the people.
okay?
Okay, well,
Well,
yeah,
see,
we'll think
see
about
what
we can
animal
do with
control
that.
does as far as record keeping. Maybe it might not hurt to see how other towns keep it. I mean,
Yeah.
just to see,
You know what it
imitation.
is? I know you're a computer person too.
If I
have
thought
it-
computerizing the food farms would be helpful, I would be the first person to say it.
Yeah, I just feel like we have a lot of
I
paper
I
up
know,
there.
we
and
do
it's
have a
got
lot of
this
paper.
information.
And
how
that's
do we
just a
get to
copy.
it?
That's just
Yeah.
a copy that she gives
Can we
us.
scan those?
I don't know. I would
Yes.
ask Bridget.
Because you know what?
I
If
would
we were to
ask
scan those and keep them in folders by,
So I would actually, it's a really good
It's so much more
conversation. I
visible.
talked to Cindy Knox about doing some of that. You have to just find out what the state says about it.
yeah.
Because I think that now if it's on a network and it's backed up and you have X, Y, and Z in place,
Yeah.
it's a copy of an
It's a
inspection
copy,
report,
right.
but I don't know what like we talked about with the receipts. Remember the receipts from all the tickets, right? What do we do with them?
Oh,
If you get a
geez,
ruling
yeah.
on the field, ask the town
Okay.
clerk.
Okay, I will. I have that on my list.
I agree with you though, if we can scan some of those things, but making sure there's a proper plan in place for how to organize them.
Yeah, I know.
I think if you look up there, because at one time when we had a volunteer working for us that had sent a whole list of things into the state to say, can we get rid of this? And we could have got rid of a lot of those files, but some of them had such a long history of complaints and violations that we
Yeah.
ourselves kept
I
them.
wanted to keep them for
Yeah.
that reason.
Yeah.
For that
And
reason.
some of them are almost for historic interest. We have a restaurant file on Tony's.
That's what I mean. That's
You know,
right,
it's like-
right. I mean, if
But
you're
see,
looking
that's
at,
common
Oh my
sense.
God.
That
Like
could
JPO
go.
Hanlon's, that one should be able to be scanned and archived.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if Wendy's does a renovation, the existing file should be able to just be archived because you're having a new structure and a new floor
Yeah,
plan and a clean
yeah.
slate. No pun intended, right?
Well,
So-
I'm not so sure about that. It's the same business.
If
No,
it's
I
the
know.
same-
But
yeah,
as far
that's
as if
true,
it's got
yeah.
a new layout and a new structure, but what I'm saying is like JPO Hanlon's,
That's gone.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Different restaurant, different
Tony's
owners,
is
different.
gone.
Tony's is
yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can look at it.
But
No, I
I know
agree.
there was a letter up there saying you could get rid of all this,
Yeah.
and because of repeated, we ourselves chose to keep them.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me try one last thing on you, Heather, which
Yeah.
I think is not going to work. Because if you didn't like doing that with the food establishment,
Well, go on. Sorry.
what about, I love these cities that give letter grades and actually
Yeah, talk to Bridget
require
about
that you
that.
post.
I don't know.
Is that something that happens on a local level? Is that a state thing?
Typically,
Somebody told
it's
me
a
it was the state
state.
of New York.
Yeah,
And I think you're a New
state of
Yorker.
California does it too.
What
Yeah.
is this you're talking? I don't
So
know.
there's food establishments, and what they do is they do a grading. So you have to post the grade on your window. So if
Yep.
you say you get, what it does is it does more to inform the consumer.
That's exactly what I'm thinking, yeah.
And it does inform the consumer. Now, we could probably debate it, and Bridget, could
ask
probably
Bridget.
contribute. But remember, if I walk in and do an inspection at, what's the place that's not open anymore, so I don't want to incriminate, Tony's.
Oh, Tony's, yeah.
And I don't find any violations on that day, he's getting an A.
Yeah.
The next day, some guy walks in sick as a dog, he's not washing his hands, he gets everybody sick, he's got an A on his window.
Yeah, and I don't know
So-
how the ratings are done. Are they based on a
Exactly.
single, or is it like,
So, I don't know. But
I'll just
you know
ask
what?
her about it out of
The
curiosity.
Commonwealth enforces the federal food code and the state food code.
Yeah.
And so there's enough regulation in place. I think our regs are fairly critical. I mean, I think that as a state, we have some pretty good regs in place. I don't know that you see an actual decrease in the instance of foodborne illness based upon a grading system. But
No, for me it was more about consumer information.
Yeah.
Because tell me honestly, haven't you both gotten this question as members of the Board of Health?
Where should
So,
I eat?
Yeah, where should I and shouldn't I eat in town?
Ask them
And
where
I
they
always
eat now.
tell
Ask
everybody,
them where they eat now.
yeah, I always tell people, as far as I know, all our restaurants are completely.
Nobody
when
has
I
ever
was
asked
the-
me that.
When I was
Really?
the health inspector in Acton, people would say, every time I go there, I have a problem. Stop going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or report it to somebody.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, but a lot of times when somebody has a bad retail experience or a bad consumer experience, there's a fine line between there actually being a
Yeah.
health issue and it being a
Yep.
consumer issue.
Yeah. That's right.
Getting a phone call that the menu prices weren't reflective of the actual price because he had just changed his menu board isn't a public health issue. However, for the owner to say too bad is not necessarily good PR either.
That's right.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but if you're saying, oh, every time I go there I get sick, you should be telling somebody this.
Right.
Well, there's
But
all these
you have to-
websites that people list and.
Oh, yeah, Yelp is good.
Yeah.
That's
So-
true.
Right. Well, that's
And I think
completely.
that if we were to grade people, we would be setting ourselves up for litigation.
Well, I just don't know that
Yeah.
there's a public health need
Yeah.
for
I
it.
don't think so.
Well, that's why I know
Yeah,
it.
it's a good question though. I mean, you see it
Yeah.
on all these really cute Restaurant Impossible and Kitchen Nightmares, but I'm like,
And
Anyway.
sometime somebody will give you a complaint and say, oh, I went over there and I had XYZ. Bridget, you call Bridget, she'll say, I was there last week, but I'll go again. And then you find out, oh, well, that restaurant let that person go. that was
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
there.
Yeah.
So you have to be
employee.
very, very careful.
I would not do this on
disgruntled
an
employee.
I would
individual's
not-
complaint. If anything, I
I
would
can
only
tell
do
you
it
right
on
now, I would not
stuff
be
from
in
Bridget.
favor of that.
I just don't know that it does anything long term.
Yeah.
I did have one thing before we move to adjourn, and I just wanted to make sure, because Ken Geekus emailed me personally over the holiday break. Ken Geekus is our emergency preparedness coordinator.
Oh, okay,
And he's
yes.
probably going to be in touch with you, to meet you.
And I haven't taken the course.
Yeah,
I
no, that's
tried.
not why he's coming in touch
Oh.
with you. As the administrative assistant, you have certain responsibilities under our emergency dispensing program. And so what he needs to do is just enter your information into the system, but also give you like a half an hour tutorial on the system that we use.
Oh, okay.
And so there's just a computer dashboard. They use it to peripheral vision. I'm like, ooh, I just saw
yeah, I
some
know.
money. So he will be in, I asked him to be directly in touch with you, because I'm like, I don't need to be
Yeah.
there. He's just gonna set you up in the portal.
I have tried to take that course. It's
Yep.
an online
And that's not,
I-
yes,
it's long,
yeah.
And I keep getting interrupted and then I don't get back to it.
Well, you're just going to have to take the time and not answer the phone or
That's
shut
right, shut
yourself
your
in
door.
the office and do it.
That's what I would do. I
That's what you
would
have to
do.
do. Yep.
And on a related note, did I tell you, or did we talk about this before the meeting? The blue handbook, the thing that had the blue or the green cover,
green.
the green, the,
Oh, I have to sign mine up
yes,
tomorrow.
there is a page in this that you have to sign, and it has to be
already did.
turned in if you didn't do that already.
Nope.
An acknowledgement page.
Yay.
And I think it goes to Harley.
Goes into Selectman's office.
Selectman's office,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll take care
I
of
haven't
it.
done mine either, I gotta send mine in.
So,
So do yours as well,
Thank
please.
you.
if there's nothing else, I'll move to adjourn at
What time is it?
It is
6:55 is
6:55.
close enough.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna second that.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.